Warning. This program contains very strong language from the outset. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Hardlines, the podcast where we break apart roast battles here in the UK and we teach you what it takes to be a roast battler, how to write jokes and how to respond to them. And I'm joined as usual by Shalaka. How are you doing?
I'm good, Drew. How are you?
I'm very well. You had your show on Sunday, your one-woman show from that I saw at the Fringe, right?
Yes. Yeah, I did.
Back up on stage. How was it recouping that from... 6-7 months ago
yeah,
now.
No, I had a good time. Got some funny reviews from a very old male comedian who told me my comedy grows on him like lichen, which is, I don't think, a compliment.
No, that is the most backhanded compliment I could imagine someone getting. Yeah. But I agree with half of that. It does grow on you if it hasn't already grown on you. And if that show ever does come up again, you should definitely check it out. But we also had a roast battle on Friday.
We did. It was a busy weekend.
Now, I had you down to battle that week, and then you told me you weren't going to be battling, weren't going to be coming there at all, and then a rumor started flying around the room just before the show started. Shalaka is actually coming tonight. And then you came sweeping in like a tiny brown tornado and took up one of the slots on the judging panel.
Yes. I think what happened there was I had to prepare for my show, and it turns out when you haven't done it in like 7-8 months, you forget almost all of it. So I spent the entire week going through the show every single day for about 2-3 hours, so I had no time to write for roast battle. And then by the time it hit Friday, I knew the show so well, I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna get on roast battle, I'm gonna judge today.
I'd set out an extra seat for Mark Cram because there are 3 seats out for the judges, and Mark likes to have a little seat between the battles, so I put out an extra seat for him. Turned out we needed all 4 for the judges now, because you were joined by regular Adam Green, who we will have on the podcast at some point. He has expressed the desire to be on the podcast. He just couldn't make it just yet. Who else? And we had Luke Hall, star of the first episode of this podcast.
Yes, he was a fantastic judge. And Adam Riley, star of one of the other second episode of the podcast.
Exactly.
Even.
Actually, it was a very podcast-heavy judging panel.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen Adam Riley judge before.
He was fantastic.
He brought that same dark energy that he has in performing to the judging. I thought it worked really, really well.
Yeah, a lot of his judging was like The Simpsons, grumpy man yells at cloud.
Yeah, but in a kind of more self-aware kind of way.
Yes, of course.
It worked really well. And of course yourself in prime position. In fact, because you got added after I'd set the seats up for filming, we can see you, we can see Luke, we can see Adam, we can't see Adam Green.
Well, sucks to be him.
We've seen enough of Adam Green anyway. It was, I think we can actually play a couple of highlights from the night just to give everyone a sense of what it was like.
Good evening, Angel Comedy. How we doing? Shalaka Karan!
Go watch his gay play. And then after that, come and watch me. I'm at Park Theatre in Finsbury Park at 5 p.m. on Sundays. Come and watch that.
Who wants to meet some white guys? Yeah! Luke Hall!
Thank you, Mark.
By the way, he's not very far away. He is just very small.
Dead prostitutes, abused children, racially aggravated assaults. Just good, clean fun.
Please welcome Adam Green! There's so much diversity tonight. We've got a brown woman and 2 men called Adam.
He's doing whiteface, everybody. Get him. Honestly, bro, just eat a fucking chocolate bar.
How do you guys support the Royal Navy? That's what I want to know.
Put in the cunt and get out of our country. This is Helen.
Jonathan looks like he'd corner you at a party and tell you how unfair he thought the Louis Theroux documentary was.
And we have covered sexism, racism, the Holocaust, everything you can want from the show. If you want to follow Shalaka's podcast, it's called Hardlines. That's about roast battle as well, so do follow that. Big round of applause for yourselves again. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
So there you have it. It was indeed a lively show. I wasn't there to perform in any sense. I was just filming the night, but it was very entertaining from the back of the room. You looked like you were having a great time.
I had a wonderful time. The battles were up and down, as you can tell from the highlights. Or maybe not. I don't know what these highlights are. But broadly, a very fun night. I think we had some great jokes.
Yeah, and it was a packed house as well. It was really full, a really great crowd. If you want to buy tickets to the next live show, you can find out when and where they are on roastbattle.co.uk/tickets. tickets. You can find yourself when the next show is and get yourself tickets to it. Because as we say on this, it's great to listen to us talking about it or watch clips about it online, but nothing beats being in the room and seeing it live. Speaking of which, we are going to go back for this episode to a battle that was slightly different.
Yes.
Slightly different in that there is a common structure, when I think the ones we've looked at so far have had that structure where it's two comedians who are regular stand-ups who do regular jokes, and then you get people like Peter and Holly.
Yep.
Now, let's start with Peter Bazely.
An enigma.
An enigma. He defies a description, but I think I'm going to ask you to try anyway. So if you had to try and sum up who Peter Bazely is, especially to people who might not be watching this, how would you describe Peter Bazely's look, his on-stage presence, and his comedy in general?
Peter Bazely looks like a pirate who may or may not be homeless at any given moment. He looks like the kind of guy, if you're in a bar and he walks in, you know that you're either going to have the best night of your life or you're going to leave the bar immediately.
Yeah.
He very, very lovely man, very enjoyable to hang out with. Incredibly odd. It's like a character from British TV shows I used to watch when I was growing up in India. I was like, oh, some British people are very weird. Peter Bazely is one of those.
Peter Bazely is one of those people, yeah. He's very tall, or is usually sporting some kind of long, lanky haircut, which may or may not be coloured.
Yes.
And a beard. I've described him as the meth messiah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
He has both the look of someone who will redeem humanity and sleeps under a bridge, kind of at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a consistent look.
The best way to describe Peter Bazely is, I think I did a roast battle against him where I had a joke where I said, this is disgusting, I apologize, but I said Peter does mushrooms, which is what he calls picking and eating whatever's growing under his foreskin.
Yeah. It feels a completely believable situation. And I can also add, never apologize for comedy like that. That is not only an accurate description of what he looks like, but it's, it just works. He has that look. But the thing is, his comedy style feels like it's kind of in lockstep with that look.
Yes. And he's phenomenally funny. So incredibly funny. Even when he looks like he might be completely in another world while he's on stage at roast battle, it's just everything he says is funny.
Yeah, he has this way of, as you say, feeling like when you're watching him either unprepared or that he's just kind of stumbled up there and is making up as he goes along. But you can tell that there's been thought put into it and that it's part of an overall persona. Yeah. He's also a great musical comedian.
Yes, fantastic.
He often performs with a guitar, and if you Google him, which I recommend that you do, you'll find a couple of very, very funny clips of him performing his own compositions on stage.
And he's so good on stage as, yes, you say he looks like he might be making it up as he's going along, but you can tell there's some preparation. I don't know if I can.
No?
Sometimes I'm like, maybe he's just a genius.
Could be.
Maybe he's just very good at thinking of jokes in a very, very short span of time.
He responds to kind of the crowd environment very, very well. And it feels like it becomes part and parcel of what he always intended to do, which I think is the genius of it, where you can actually create or even prepare or be ready for presenting a performance that looks like it has just been grabbed from the ether.
Yeah.
That could be something that develops naturally for him as a performer, or it could be something that's been crafted over time, but it just works. And what I enjoy most is the contrast between him and everyone else. We've talked about Helen Kay and that you don't really know which Helen Kay is going to turn up on the night. So Helen Kay, very regular performer, fantastic. She was performing on Friday.
Yes.
She was brilliant. And again, that felt like a different Helen than from another nights, because she was almost like light and bubbly and kind of like flirty and just a different energy that we've seen from her. And it was great. Peter Bazely can be different on stage in a similar way, which I think is more on purpose. Like sometimes he'll come on and he might be, or is pretending to be, extremely drunk. Yeah. But it works for him. Yeah. In a way that the comedy works for it. Or sometimes he can be very defensive. Or sometimes he can be very aggressive, either with the audience. And not in a physical way, but just in the way he appears on stage.
Yeah.
So it's it's like trying to, I think I've described it as like battling Peter Bazely is like trying to grab mist.
Yeah. Where you're like, I have no clue what I'm doing here.
Yeah. You don't know what to grab onto.
Yeah.
Have you battled him?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. How did you fare?
Pretty well, but I think it's because he came on with no jokes, and at one point in the battle decided to lean forward and put his head on the mic and not speak for what felt like an entire minute. So it was a bit out there. I think I, as someone who wrote jokes, did a little bit better than he did.
Yeah.
It was an experience. It was an interesting, nerve-wracking experience where I was like, I don't know what is happening at any given second of me being on stage right now.
Yeah, I battled him once and I felt the same way. I just felt like nothing that I could do that I felt was conventional was effective. It just felt like nothing hit with him, and the audience was just so kind of mesmerized by his performance on stage that you didn't really know what to do. And I lost that battle. But
the thing is, with Peter Bazely, it could go either way. Either the audience really loves you because you've put some time and effort into preparing it, or at least it seems that way in comparison, or the audience is like, we don't give a shit about you. We care about this crazy man who's so charismatic in the weirdest, disarming, most disarming way possible.
Yeah, I would say I don't think on the audience's behalf that it's conscious. I don't think the audience ever thinks, I respect how much writing you've done. Like, the comedians definitely do, and the judges will certainly call that out. If you've clearly written jokes and the other hasn't, or hasn't seemed to have, they will call out and they'll say, we can see that you've written jokes.
Yeah.
Audiences, I think for a lot of kind of lay people audiences, they don't even really consciously register that comedy has been written.
Oh, yeah. The number of times I've heard from family members be like, oh, you write your joke. That's interesting. It's like, oh, you think I just come up with this on the spot?
I did a gig last night. It was Luke Hall's gig at the Wombats Hostel.
Oof. He knows.
It caters exclusively to international young tourists, basically, in the audience. And thankfully, after me, there was a guy on who had just come up to Luke and just said, oh, I've never done stand-up comedy, but I fancy giving it a go.
Oh, poor guy. What a gig to have as your first gig.
Yeah, and Luke said, okay, and how much can you do? And he says, oh, I'll start with 10. And Luke was like, I'll light you at 3. And honestly, I stayed for the first 3. And he should have lit him at 2. But he had literally just grabbed a receipt and just sketched some things out. And all he'd done was just written, here's some things.
Yeah.
There was
Classic.
no joke structure there. But roast battle, I think even more than regular stand-up comedy, I don't know if you get the same, but people say, I can't believe you just go up there and make all this stuff up. No, it's...
Yeah.
A lot of writing goes into it.
I think because the people are more used to the phenomenon of rap battles, where in rap battles people do... I mean, obviously some stuff might be pre-prepared, but there is that aura of, they're just like freestyling the whole thing.
Yeah, it's not freestyling.
Yeah, but people think that.
I think there are... I have seen instances where Jeff Ross, for example, I saw him supporting... I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Chris Rock or Trevor Noah. I saw him supporting them, and part of his thing was he asked if anyone in the audience wanted to be roasted, and he brought up a line of them, and then he just went down the line.
That's amazing.
It was brilliant to watch. But he's just pulling from a very long joke book of pre-written stuff. Like just because this audience hasn't heard it doesn't mean that it's brand new.
Yeah.
But I've never encountered roast battle where it's been completely improvised. And if you threw me on stage right now with someone, I would just be pulling from jokes I'd done before.
100%.
Like there's no way that you could make up anything really, really good on the spot. But Peter Bazely, more than anyone else, it feels like that. Yeah. It feels spontaneous. It feels like, if anything, he could have done some more prep, but that's part of the charm of it. And with no other performer, I'd say the performance of it as a whole, it's a whole thing. Like, it almost doesn't clip very well, like for social media, because you have to have seen the build up, everything from how he approaches the stage to how his physicality on stage. Yeah,
what he's wearing, what he's holding. Does he have a beer with him?
Yeah.
Sometimes he brings a bag on stage. All of that. You have to see the whole thing to understand what's going on.
Yeah, and even when it's not his round, not his turn, he's still on.
Yeah.
Like, he's still able to steal the limelight, even though
Yeah.
normally you're meant to just kind of stand still and receive those jokes. So he was up against Holly Ludlow.
Yeah.
Now,
The opposite of Peter Bazely in every conceivable way possible. It's like watching a man approach a girl outside her private school.
it looks like some kind of perversion of Gandalf and Frodo.
Oh, yes, very much so.
So tall, bearded man.
If Gandalf was more like Smeagol, then he was like Gandalf.
Yeah. Holly Ludlow looks like a fairy who lost her wings.
Yes.
Like, she looks like a stiff breeze would carry her away.
Yeah. Very likable, the vibe could not be more different. Not that Peter Bazely isn't likable, but very innocent looking.
Mm-hmm.
Her voice is really sweet. She seems like the nicest person that anyone has ever met at any given moment. You feel very safe and comfortable around her.
I'd say it almost goes beyond that to a creepy place. Like how like
A bit, yeah.
the voice is so high and so kind of like ethereal.
Yeah.
That it doesn't feel like normal human beings talk like that. And I think that's part of her shtick on stage. But
Yeah.
it just means that right now we have two people on stage who you could consider character performers. And we've seen other battles with Holly did a battle where she was up against a friend of hers and they were both kind of had written it together and it didn't work. It felt too theatrical and
It felt like I remember exactly the battle you talk about.
Yeah.
It felt like going to watch your kids in a school play.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think Adam Green said it looked like a sixth form drama recital. But Holly has battled other people, and her temperament and her stage persona is almost a perfect matchup for Peter.
I agree.
Because the way she responds to things is just kind of like smile and giggle and move on.
Yeah.
And that can completely undermine anyone. But
Yeah.
someone like Peter can really... It's a lovely combination. I guess Callum put them together as a pairing. I don't think they requested to battle each other. But I think it's a genius pairing.
Yeah.
And all the possible contrasts that you can imagine are all there.
Yeah.
And
it's very hit and miss. Incredible. The most hit and miss a roast battle could ever be.
Exactly. We don't just want to talk about the battles that went well. We also want to talk about the things that were different and delve into that. And I think you can learn as much from that as you can from anything else. So this was something to behold in the room. I hope that it translates in video, but we'll find out. Let's dive into round number 1.
Let's do it.
Are you ready for your next battle? Right, this is between Holly Ludlow and Peter Bazely. You know what to do. Battle, 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 battle.
Oh my God.
Hello. And we begin. So this is Holly Ludlow. Holly actually won a competition to be on the show tonight. Congratulations. And they said, "Who you can battle anyone you want." And she said, "I just want to battle someone without allegations." Unfortunately, he wasn't available tonight. So it's me. And I feel like I've won a competition because I'm next to you.
What a great guy. Thank you for your service. Guys. And a beautiful smile. That was mean. Guys, Peter is another middle-aged white male comedian. Icky. He likes his comedy dry because it reminds him of every woman he's ever been with, including your mama.
There you have it. I think right away we see examples of what we were talking about there. What do you make of that first round?
Perfect. It immediately, you know how weird both of them are. Holly looks like she won a competition to be here today. battle a man with no allegations. He wasn't available. Fantastic. Calling himself a pedophile, wonderful. Or a sex pest, whatever he's calling himself, very bold.
You get in there nice and early, kind of pull the rug out from underneath what the inevitable thing. Because if you're battling a small woman like that, you know that is just fertile ground for them to delve into. So by getting in there early, you undermine that a little bit. I think for audiences who've never seen Peter before, do you think they would have grasped that he was doing an impersonation of her? Because he has gone first, and the way he comes on and he does that soft voice, we know it's him doing an impersonation of Holly. But does an audience who hasn't seen this before get that?
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
I don't think it matters. Like, why is he being weird? And I think just the point of him being weird is enough.
Is enough in its own right. And I think, maybe the audience then grasps it once Holly actually starts talking. Yeah. Because obviously he doesn't normally talk like that. That's an inflection.
Also with Holly, we've talked about this before, having a woman say something very mean in the nicest, kindest way possible, where she goes, Peter has a beautiful smile. Oh, that was mean. I'm being mean. And it's like, that could have easily just been a compliment. Yeah. And the way in which she undermines that and then goes, icky. It's so funny.
It's a consistent persona, and that is so hard to craft, and it works so well. It works with how she looks, and her persona is an exaggeration of how she physically manifests on stage. Yeah. To be able to use words like icky. Yeah. and it means that any of those words can be a punctuation and a joke in their own right. Mm-hmm. So that's her saying icky, or her being what a great guy, but saying it in a way without any irony whatsoever. Yeah. It is a really clever way, and I think it shows the kind of the contrast between the two of them and how different they are as performers.
And if not, I know we'll say this 100 times over the course of this episode, but this is a great battle to watch, to remind yourself that roast battle is, at the end of the day, a performance. Mm-hmm. It's a performance. You're there to entertain the audience, and the two of them are doing it like no one else.
You're not writing your jokes and mailing them in. Yeah. It's the delivery of them that's important, right? And I think she's taken the time with those little asides, and whether or not she does this consciously, or I probably predict she knows exactly what she's doing. She has built up in a few lines, like, oh, what a nice guy. And those kind of nice lines, it helps anchor that personality of who she is, which then makes the joke about him being really dry, like all the women he's ever been with, including your mama. Yeah. Like it helps build a pedestal for that joke to sit on, because it's a fairly conventional roast battle joke. Yeah. Like anyone could have written that, but what's different for the way Holly is delivered is her performance of it, established by how she's built her own character in a very short amount of time.
To the point where if anyone else had said that joke, I would have rolled my eyes. Yeah. But the way in which she does it, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Great. That's fantastic.
And I think both of them have established for the audience who they are, what to expect from their kind of characters in one round. Yeah. Most roast battles, mine included, you could get through all 5 and still not have any idea of who I am. Like, I'm just a vessel for speaking out the lines in the way that I've written them, and there isn't much of a performance there. This is a different class of performance. This is a more, as you're saying, a kind of more holistic way of doing things. Yeah.
Who do you think has it after that round?
This is where it really becomes tricky, because they're not... it feels like they're playing different games. Like if it's just based on who made me laugh more, I think it's Holly. I think she had the better joke. But with Peter, it always feels like we've seen one round, quote unquote round, but it's the whole thing together that's going to make more sense. Yeah. Like, so I think, and this might be a continuous thing, I think Holly has it just if you took this round in isolation. Yeah. And judges will roast. I don't think you were judging...
I can't remember.
This night. I can tell you were in the room.
Oh, yep, she's there. You can hear it.
That laugh, we've said this before, unmistakable. You know when Shalaka's in the room, and you know when you like to joke, which is, I think, very helpful for this podcast. So it's almost like you knew we were going to be doing this. This one was actually almost exactly a year ago. So this was
May 2025.
May 2025. So we haven't seen their likes battle again. In fact, I don't think I've seen Holly battle. Oh no, that one we were talking about earlier. She
Yeah.
did after this. Peter, off and on. He comes and goes from the roast battle scene. Hopefully, we'll see more of him. But let's dive into round number 2.
Okay. So this is Holly. Holly said she sold her eggs, and that's the down there. The ones down there. I don't know what they're called. Vulva eggs, I think. And she's got 3 sons that she can't see until they're 18, which is weird. We've got a lot in common. I've got 3 kids I also can't see.
I love an honest man. Sick. Guys, Peter studied drama in the European Hub for Arts and Culture, High Wycombe. For the last 15 years, he's committed to the role of playing man taking ketamine in a car park. High Wycombe is also where I grew up. That's where me and Peter first met. He used to hang out in the bins outside my primary school. So good to see you, old friend.
I didn't realise we've met before.
There you go. A continuation, I think, of all the themes that we've already spoken about.
I think with this one, I would give it to Holly just because she had actual jokes.
Yeah.
Sold her eggs. That's something we have in common. I also have 3 kids. I cannot see. Is that true or not? I mean, it's probably not. Based on what I know, untrue. But it's so believable that it's almost not funny.
I think it definitely has at least one.
Yeah.
But I don't... Yeah. It's... again, whether or not it's true is less important than whether or not the audience believes it.
Yeah.
And in this case, I think they definitely believed it.
Yeah. High Wycombe, though.
High Wycombe.
So funny.
That one took me a minute.
Yeah.
It was a few times like, High Wycombe. Again, maybe that's just the age, but it took a second for that one to land. And then we know from school he would be in the bins. Those are relatively conventional jokes, but again, performed in her way, they feel like they're completely integrated into how she performs.
Yeah.
Like it just becomes seamless.
Also, I think what's interesting is a lot of people make jokes. I mean, calling a man a pedophile, you have to. It's roast battle. If you don't, we will remove you from the premises. But what a lot of people do is, oh, you might know him from the guy outside a kid's primary school. What I like about how she did the joke was she made it about her and then referenced what is a very noticeable age gap between the two of them. Is it an actual big age gap, an age gap as big as we think we do? Unsure.
For the record, Peter's the same age as me.
I think Holly is younger than I am. So it's at least like 10 years. Yeah. Minimum, I want to say.
10 hard years.
I don't know what's happened to him in those studies. He's been sailing the seas, Peter Bazely.
Yeah.
Also, I did love the man who takes ketamine in a car park, because I'm like, that is 100% believable. Based on every time I've seen Peter Bazely, 100% believable.
That's because
did you just see him taking ketamine in a car park?
Yeah. That's because you were taking ketamine with him in a car park. Yeah, the clue was right there. He's carried on with this kind of persona. Sometimes I've seen him do where he's come on and he's done a certain accent. He does an Irish accent sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Which he then drops in the second round because I can't be bothered to do this anymore.
It's so funny. I love that.
It's a great recurring gag. He sometimes performs an entire set as an Irish person, and a very convincing one too. But again, I would say that he is building something, whereas Holly is jabs. She's like every round she's getting her jabs in, and I think the audience is finding that so far more entertaining.
Yes, it's two different. It's very interesting. They're not doing it in the exact way, but you're seeing two completely different types of roast battle in front of your eyes as it's happening. It's very exciting, right? You're seeing someone like Peter who's building a narrative from scratch, and some of the jokes are hits, some of the jokes are miss, but he's building a narrative about their relationship and what he thinks of her through the course of his 5 jokes. And then you see the opposite, which is Holly, where every joke is a joke. And they're all kind of about his personality and what he looks like, but they're all standalone jokes.
Yeah, I think she's building a consistency of her own character, and that keeps going through. But you're right, the jokes are just jabs. They're just singular jabs. Whereas Peter's building this abstract humor machine, arc that may or may not land with the audience.
Yeah.
Right, let's have a listen to round number 3.
So this is Holly Ludlow, and Holly's Holly got a tattoo of Psycho on the inside of one of her lips. We don't know which one, but no, not like that. But anyway, she's 28 now, so I just wanted to. I just thought I'd give you a mawam.
Oh, thank you.
I just thought very brave to come out on stage at 28, and on a Friday night, no one wants to see an old woman, do they? But
I actually love mawams. Thank you. I'll just leave it here for now. That's so crazy. You think I'm old. Guys, Peter is 41. In dog years, that makes him 177. That's fucking old! Woof woof. No, that wasn't good.
no, it was good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, slightly weaker round from Holly there. I don't think she quite had the joke to punch it up, but again, she's sustaining this consistency of personality.
Yeah, I think saying woof woof on stage is always very funny.
That is something that can only work as it's built into this persona that she's created on stage. So she's built herself a bit of a safety net there, because her sheer presence is entertaining to the audience now.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit of leeway to just say woof woof.
Yeah.
And because if you look at it, he's 41. Crap, I'm actually older than Peter.
No, don't look at me.
Because this was last year. I would have already been 43. Checks notes. So he's like, that's how old he is in dog years. That's fucking old. Woof woof. There isn't actually a joke in that.
No.
At all.
It's just statement of fact.
It's just a chain of facts.
Yeah.
So that entirely relies on what she's already built, and that's not to degrade it. That's the kind of vehicle that she's built for herself to sit this within. So she has the leeway to actually not tell a joke, and still get a bit of a laugh on it.
Yeah.
That's a real skill.
Yeah. For this round, I think I would give it to Peter, because that no one wants to see that on a Friday, and it's such a good misdirect that I've seen this battle. I forgot what the punchline was.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, because she's 28, she's an old woman. Fantastic. It made me laugh out loud again right now while we were watching this.
And I think the Moa thing and her response to it, again, I think it's so perfect. It's hard to imagine that it wasn't pre-written, but it feels like it was just built into her personality. It goes, thank you very much. I'm just going to put that here.
Yeah.
And there's so much implied in, I love these, but I'm not going to eat the one you've just given me for all the reasons we can tell, right? This creepy old man has given this little girl a sweetie. Just thank him and move him along. Right?
Yeah.
and it doesn't feel like the audience has completely bought into the premise that I have on there, but I found that funny at the time, and I find it funny now.
Yeah.
That just her subtly putting on I think that's actually funnier than her quote unquote joke in that round.
Yeah.
Again, it just fits within this landscape that she's created of her own character.
I also really enjoyed when he does, as a female comedian, when you do a roast battle against someone, at least one of the jokes is going to be about your vagina. And I love how he does that joke about saying she's got a tattoo of Psycho on her lips. I don't know which one. And then he goes, not like that, where he's turned the joke around on the audience.
Yeah.
Being like, you guys are discussing. I meant top or bottom lip. What were you thinking about?
That's a classic comedy kind of...
Yeah.
I think the earliest version of that I can think of is Steve Martin's joke, where he talks about this girl he's seeing and she had a really nice pussy, and then the crowd starts laughing and goes, oh, not like that, and then he takes a drink and says,
oh, now come on! I'm talking about her cat. Now that makes me sick right there. Now, you can't say anything anymore that people don't take it dirty, and I'm sorry, that disgusts me. That cat was the best fuck I ever had.
Again, the structure of it, that's not stealing jokes, that's just a structure that you can build your own framework onto. And Peter Bazely's done that in the past, and he'll do it again in the future, and I think it works really well.
Yeah, I love that. That was a good round.
So we score this one for Peter. So that's 2-1 to Peter so far. Let's go on to round 4.
So Holly's actually an actress, which you can tell because she's more attractive than the real comedians. And that's 2 votes from the judges lost there. Almost like he didn't want to win the battle. So she's an actress. Thank you. Thank you. She's an actress playing a comedian doing a roast battle. That's quite a mouthful, isn't it? And hopefully later on you'll have another mouthful. No, not like that. When I buy you a kebab.
Peter, I'm not going to sleep with you.
Acting.
You got me there!
Guys, Peter once worked as a street sweeper for the summer. Not a joke. The year was 1706. The winter had been cruel, but with gruel in his stomach and the broom in his hand, Peter felt optimistic. It's been downhill ever since.
So
Oh,
we.
that's funny.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm done. That was fine.
It was great. Another good one.
Oh no!
Just so brave, and she is. Awful men in here tonight. I'm really sorry. It's not usually like this.
Now, we've spoken before about when to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I think that's a clear example of where Holly had the joke. She had it and then frivolously petered it away on
Downhill
nothing
since
much.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah. If she'd ended the joke on 1706,
Yeah.
I would have voted for her in this round.
Yeah. It was perfect.
It was perfect. I was like, oh, great. Love that. But everything after that, I'm going to give it to Peter. Not for... This round, the whole have a mouthful later, I'm going to buy her a kebab. I laughed, but I was a bit like, ooh, yuck.
Again, it's a bit of a double dip from the previous round where he's done the lips and not like that. So we've seen that structure already.
Yeah.
Is it a theme? Is it a double dip? You could argue that point, but it's okay.
Yeah, where I was like, ooh, yuck. But I'm going to give it to Peter for the real comedian's joke.
Okay, yeah.
More attractive than any of the real comedians here. Very funny. But maybe it's just because I'm a comedian.
I was also going to give it to Peter, but for a different bit.
Acting.
I thought that was so good. Because that is like the mark of a really great comedian, just being able to respond in the moment. Says, I'm not going to, because she said it with such earnestness that it felt borderline real.
Yeah.
And then just go, acting. So perfect, because it's built on what he's already established about her being an actress, and like, the timing of it, the delivery of it, the context, it was absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Those comebacks, we've said this before, a great comeback can swing you around very easily.
Yeah.
Sometimes an entire battle. And I thought that was an instance where you could...
I've definitely judged battles before where the only reason I've voted for someone has been, it's been a dog shit battle and one of their comebacks was unexpectedly good.
Yeah.
I've judged rounds based on comebacks alone.
To jump back to the battle from Friday, there was the first battle that was on, which was between Connor Yates and
Tom Cousins.
And Tom's jokes were poor, but his comebacks were amazing.
Yes, fantastic comeback. Have I made a note of them here? Let's find out.
Well, it was he had the one, Connor Yates blew white powder in his face, and first but Connor got massive amounts of blowback. Because when he brought his hand up to blow, he threw most of it in his own face first. And Tom accused him of being whiteface. Yeah. And then he said that he had a pocket full of black powder.
Dust.
none of his jokes were that good, but his comebacks were amazing. And I think this is a great example of a great comeback winning around.
And not to be too nerdy, this is the nerdiest podcast of all time. But my favorite thing about how he says acting is there's a long pause where you're like, oh, thank God he didn't say anything because I would have just made it weird. And it's just long enough to believe that she's just going to go into her next joke and he's not going to say anything. And then he goes acting.
Yeah. So not only is it good, it was almost necessary.
Yeah.
Like, because her delivery of it was so close to it being real that
because it probably 1000% was.
Yeah. But just the delivery of it, it's one of those moments that saves the whole bit for both of them. And this is it, like I think this pairing, a lot of times when Peter's battling, if the other person isn't set up mentally to counteract that,
deal with that,
it doesn't feel like it feels like it's Peter's show and you're just tagging along.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it feels like they're two players on stage playing off each other. It feels more harmonic than most battles that Peter does with people. Because you kind of have to decide how you're going to respond to this.
Yeah.
And we said it at the beginning that these styles feel opposite but complementary.
Yeah.
Like this works really well. And that is a perfect example of where that has just accidentally been amazing.
Yeah.
A great combination.
Yeah. Because I've seen it go, like, the best case scenario, if you're not prepared for this, is that it's Peter's show and you're just tagging along when you're completely not prepared for it. I've seen it go even worse than that, where people have actively been not physically aggressive, but the vibe has been a bit aggressive and annoyed and frustrated and irritable. And that just ruins the night for everybody involved. You can't be doing that.
No, this is the right way to deal with it, the perfect way.
Lean in, yes and.
Yes and, indeed. We'll go into what yes and means in the comedy community at some other point. But I think that makes it 2-2 at this point, going into the fifth round.
I voted for Holly, so for me...
Holly on this one?
No, for Peter.
For Peter?
Yes, and I voted for Peter on the first one as well. So for me, it's a 3-1. For you, it's a 2-2.
Okay, right. Let's go into round number 5.
So we share facts before the battle, 15 sort of facts, and I was reading through Holly's facts, and I was getting down doing the 3 sons, very good, and then she said she used to bin dive for bread. I think it was that point when I started to catch feels. So you know what? Fuck the competition.
I'm not gonna sleep with you, dude.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
But I love your use of props. That's nice. Guys, Peter, he looks like a dirty puppet. That would have been used in schools to teach kids not to get into the van. # stranger danger.
Peter's known to use a prop from time to time. He has actually brought puppets onto stage, various things like it. And this feels like a great set piece. And again, like it feels like the last part of the whole act.
Yes.
From beginning to end, wouldn't you say?
I hated that so much.
Okay.
Because maybe it's just I'm coming from a very biased place of identifying as being a woman on stage with that, where that would have made me so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so awkward. And I think she dealt with it very well by doing the I'm not going to sleep with you
I think
thing again.
There was very few options left on the table for her. It does leave her out to dry a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's like, you can kind of see the cogs turning, going like, what is the funniest response to this?
Yeah.
That isn't just no or yes or like, what do you run with? And just calling back to I won't sleep with you, I think from a list of difficult options, it was the best one.
I think the reason why is because I specifically didn't like that. I think if it was someone else, it would have been not if it was someone else. I think she dealt with it well. But when it happened in that specific moment, I remembered it in the room, and I remembered it now coming back. Everyone got really tense, even though she was trying to make it like build up the vibe again and be like, I appreciate you use your props and things like that. I still remember how it felt to be in that room where people were just tense because someone had said no to a marriage proposal, even though it was a fake one. That kind of just left Holly out to dry with nothing to do. She tried her best and she did well, but she just couldn't recover the room, and that's what made me uncomfortable about the whole thing.
I think I totally see that. I like how it tied the entire performance together, and this is what we're talking about, how any individual bit feels like it doesn't stand on its own as much as the entire performance together does, and this feels like a way to cap it. I think it's maybe an overextension from the joke that was quite funny about him, the bin diving joke, and about catching feels. That feels like it's been, again, the stepping stone along the way of this whole act. I think the proposal, I'm trying to remember how funny I thought it was in the moment. I thought it was quite funny, but only one half of it, in that it's not good for yes and, because you're just leaving someone out to dry. It's not giving them something to hold on to. If he had his own kind of safety net built into it, like where maybe she hesitated for a moment, and he had something built into that where he snapped it shut and then like rescinded it, or turned to someone else in the audience, or did something else.
Oh, there's something else in the box. It was a Moam.
I thought it was going to be a Moam.
Yeah.
It looked like a real ring.
Yeah. I think you cannot help but my gut instinct when I saw it was like, don't touch that girl. Do not touch that little girl.
You become inherently protective of this girl. I'm sure she can handle herself.
I mean, despite all of this, we've done all the jokes, and I still voted for this man, and now
you're beginning to regret it.
I regret that very much. But based on my judging of this entire battle, he gets my vote.
For this one as well?
No, not for the last joke.
Okay, just...
the battle as a whole.
The battle in whole. I'm not sure I agree. I like the thing as as an entity in its own right, and I think it's very fun to watch. I think some of the individual jokes and the way that Holly's able to get a laugh out of something that doesn't deserve to get a laugh, but she's built this performance and this persona that you can put these relatively conventional jokes, or sometimes not even jokes at all, and still get a laugh out of that. I like that as a craft. So I think it's two different ways to kind of approach a character-based roast battle, and they've done it in two different ways. I can't actually remember who won this battle in the room.
Should we find out?
An amazing battle there between every polyamorous couple you've ever met. Duffy, who do you think won that one? That's also massive round of applause for that one. Fucking great stuff. Duffy, what do you reckon?
I think you both have lovely hair, but there can only be one winner. Holly, I really liked Kenman in the car park and Dirty Puppet. Peter, I liked when you gave Holly a maum. But my favourite joke was more attractive than real comedians. I'm giving it to Peter.
One of the Peter. Also, would we like to hear Duffy try and pronounce Maoam one more time?
Maum?
Duffy got it!
Well, there we go. One vote for Peter.
Yeah.
Mark Cram's on fire with those jokes. That one.
He is. It's almost like he's in the room. This will make more sense in the next episode. Duffy was a brilliant roast battle performer in the UK. I mean, he still would be. He's just not performing in the UK. I think he's currently in Serbia.
Is he actually?
I keep seeing updates of him.
Why I hadn't seen him in ages.
I don't know if he's moved there, but he's been on the news in Serbia. He's just...
For what?
I don't know. Like a guest on the news.
Oh! Sorry, I'm sorry. Google Duffy Connors and you'll understand why my reaction was for what.
Yeah, I've described him as looking like a leprechaun that joined ISIS. But he was a great judge on this one, and he calls it along the lines of what you're saying as well, that those individual jokes that Peter gave, he preferred more.
Fantastic, yeah.
Right, who was the next judge?
Also, Maum.
Maum. Is it? Now I don't know how
to say it. I don't know. I've forgotten how you pronounce it. Moam?
Moam?
Moam.
Is it M-O-A-M?
How about we'll do a YouTube poll.
YouTube poll.
I don't know
yes.
how you do that shit.
How do you pronounce the Sweeties spelled Moam? Is that how you? I don't know. Right.
That is
okay.
how it's spelled.
Moving on to the next judge, who was
Maria.
All right, Mariah, who do you think won?
So some good stuff, but also I don't understand what was going on with either of them. I maybe it's because I'm not from here, so I was just like, what is happening? But yeah, it seems like I'm kind of scared of both of you in different ways. Like I do feel like you would kill people, both of you. And
thank you.
Yeah. Do you see what she did there? There was a lot of good stuff. I laughed a lot. I feel like Peter really trolled it, but I just loved the acting. That was hilarious. But I think for the sake of actual jokes, I'm going to give it to Holly.
See, I think she said a couple of things there that I definitely agree with, and that Holly's persona is borderline creepy. Like it is dangerous. Like there's something about it.
That thank you was terrifying.
Yeah, that is that again. That is a perfect incarnation of that. That it feels all. It feels like everything is just a veneer on something very, very dark underneath. I agree with her points on that, and I agree that I probably, on the same basis, would have given it to Holly. Now, by the looks of it, our next judge is a familiar face.
I don't remember judging this battle.
Well, it was a year ago. I mean, a lot has happened since then. But shall we find out what you had to say at the time?
Yeah, let's do it.
1-1, Shalaka.
This is a great battle between super annoying and super nonce. Really, really loved it. This is like Red Riding Hood for people who are on Ket. Like, I don't know what the fuck was happening here. Just based on... Sorry, what? Sorry, I heard someone heckle me and my instinctually Indian auntie. Holly.
All right, 2-1 to Holly. So.
Okay. So you're shoot from the hip after being slightly derailed by.
Oh.
I'm not even sure there was a heckle in there. I'm not sure anyone heard anything.
I heard it again on that video.
What was it though?
Oh, no clue.
No, okay.
Yeah.
You went for Holly.
I did go for Holly. I think that I was still suffering the aftershock of the proposal in that moment, where you can hear it in my voice. I sound very irritated.
Yeah.
Which, watching it again, I was also yet again very irritated.
Fair enough.
But judging it more objectively, I think I would have given it to Peter.
Okay. Fair enough. We had one more judge left to go. Who could that possibly be?
Holly, so Adam Green gets the deciding vote.
Oh, hi, Mike. Thanks for having me. Now, I've been judging roast battle for 7 years now, and I thought that was a great battle. Wasn't that a great battle, guys? Oh, it's so good, Pete. I loved how you started by just, pretending to be Holly and then roasting yourself. That was really good. And, Holly, you did some jokes that were actual jokes. How can you vote against him, though? I've got to vote for Peter.
Well, that makes it 2 votes to 2. So you know what happens now? You know who gets to decide? The audience! Right.
This is quite interesting now that Adam has made it even.
Yeah.
And I think he had valid points. But now... also, you can tell at what point in the evening this was by count. It's like a tree. You can count the rings. How many years has he been battling roast battle for? If he said 10, that means this was the 5th battle.
Yeah.
It's just a way that we can age a battle. But now that we actually get a nice insight into what the audience felt, because now we don't get this with every battle. We actually get to hear how the audience voted. I genuinely can't remember which way it went. So let's see.
Find out.
All right, there's no chanting. All right, give me a cheer if you think Holly won! Give me a cheer if you think Peter won! I'll do it one more time. Holly! Peter! All right, your winner on split decision and audience vote is Peter Bazely! Excellent battle again, though.
That's fair enough. The audience went for whoever was more entertaining, and I think he was.
I don't think they were as irritated by the proposal as you were.
Yeah, well.
There you go.
Too many men.
So this was an example of a non-typical roast battle. How much do you enjoy these compared to the conventional ones that we see usually 4 or 5 of it in a night. We're not treated to something quite this novel very often.
I think one of these a night is more than enough.
Mm-hmm.
If there's more than one of these a night, it starts to become a very long and tiresome night, where everyone has a shtick, everyone has a bit, everyone has a prop.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I can't sit through that shit.
But a little sprinkling of it here and there goes
That's
a long way.
That's fantastic, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, that was Peter Bazely versus Holly Ludlow from May last year. A very unique example of how roast battle can be. If this is the first episode of Hardlines that you've watched, they're not all like this. They're usually a bit more conventional stand-up. But this is nonetheless a very important one, I think, to review. I think this was a great one to pick. But we will be back again next week with another battle. In the meantime, you should follow us on Instagram and TikTok at HardlinesPod. You can follow Shalaka at Shalaka Corrupt, or follow me at Drew Tells Jokes. And until next time, it's bye from me.
It's bye from me.